I want you to picture this. Johnny's girlfriend Stephanie is getting ready to go out with her friends, and she's wearing a low cut top. Nothing too crazy, but quite revealing. And Johnny wants to say something about it, but something holds him back. So she goes out, comes back later that night, and nothing is said about it. A few nights later, Stephanie is getting ready to go out again, this time wearing a miniskirt. And again, Johnny's mind is telling him that he should mention that he's not comfortable with her going out dressed like that, but still something's holding him back. So once again, she goes out, comes back later, nothing is said about it. The next weekend, Stephanie is getting ready to go out, and she's wearing the tiniest possible top and the shortest possible skirt. She's practically naked. And still, Johnny's mind is telling him that, oh, we can't say anything. What if she gets mad and we start an argument? Just let it slide. So she goes out. But this time, she's gonna hit the club and grind on that big, muscular bouncer. So a lot of men have a tough time setting healthy boundaries with women, and that's particularly true for many guys raised by single mothers. It's something that I also had to gradually learn. There have been occasions where a girl in my life would act in a way that I didn't particularly like, and I only became assertive enough with imposing my boundaries once things had become more severe, and I would have avoided a lot of headache if I had done it sooner. And I believe that much of that comes from being raised by a single mother. So I wanted to run through how that might have led to you struggling with boundary setting. One factor is early role reversal. What do I mean by that? When a boy's father leaves the home, he experiences more weight on his shoulders, more responsibility to step up and be the man of the house in some way and to contribute to the household and support his mother. He is also seeing his mother struggle and sees all of her frustrations and fears linked to raising him and his siblings if he has them. And that directly makes him feel that he's responsible for her pain. Because if she didn't have him and his siblings, then she wouldn't be so overworked, so frustrated, so anxious. So he grows up with this feeling of guilt. And this is something that I struggled with for quite a long time. I remember feeling so guilty about the things that my mother had to do to raise me. We moved to the UK when I was 11. She had to work some really shitty jobs at first for low pay just to sustain me and to help me along through school. That I grew up with this idea that I was responsible for her struggles. Even though nobody blamed me directly, I still felt that pressure. And to an extent, I still do to this day. But I've now reached a point where I'm able to safeguard my own needs and to make my own decisions and sort of absolve myself from that guilt. But that's something that you can drag into your relationships. You experience this pressure to relieve the burden and the discomfort of people around you because you did it with your mother growing up. And that can lead to you being afraid to voice your opinions, your needs, if they might hurt or insult your partner. So oftentimes we avoid those conversations because we don't want to cause that discomfort. A second reason why setting boundaries might be difficult is to do with attachment style. So if a boy grows up without a father in the picture, he's likely going to grow up with some insecurities, whether he feels less confident, incompetent in certain areas, and or doesn't have the guidance to channel his male aggression and competitive spirit in a healthy way. And those insecurities will compound and he'll drag them into his relationship, whereby he will be quite anxious and feel like if he does something wrong, he's going to lose the woman he's with because he's not that secure in who he is in the first place. So he's not going to take the risk of saying something that might hurt her or annoy her, even if that is protecting his own needs and mental health. He's going to avoid those tough conversations because the risk of loss of the relationship is so great in his mind that it's just not worth it. Another reason is that men raised by single mothers tend to grow up more emotionally sensitive. And in some ways that can be good. That man will likely have higher emotional intelligence than most people, but in many ways it can be detrimental. If a boy spends a lot of time with just his mother, he'll likely pick up on the feminine tendencies of seeking harmony and avoiding conflict. So when it comes to a relationship and there's the prospect of conflict from him voicing his needs and setting boundaries, he's going to be very apprehensive because that's going against what his mother has, whether involuntarily or otherwise, instilled in him to always seek harmony. And finally, a big part of it comes down to not having a male role model. You simply haven't seen what a relationship with healthy boundaries between a man and a woman looks like because your father wasn't around. It's a hard balance to strike between setting boundaries and being hurtful as is, let alone trying to do so without someone guiding you or seeing an example. So, how do you get better at setting boundaries? The best answer I found is improving your mental health and developing self love. And I know it sounds corny to say, oh, love yourself, but think about it. If you're letting a woman do and say things that hurt you and you stick around without calling her out on it, how much do you really value yourself? You need to see yourself as your own best friend, and that's going to automatically make you stand your ground on issues that are negative to you. Okay, but how do you develop self love? In my case, I do it through hard work and self improvement. When I grind, whether that's in my work or in the gym, I'm earning money, building muscle, fighting in kickboxing, I just feel proud and not in some self obsessed way, but you look at yourself and you smile and you're happy for being you. It's so wholesome. Do you think that you're going to do all that work only to then take some bullshit from a girl? No, you're going to express what's bothering you. And if she's a good woman, she'll respect you and she'll take it on board. And she'll actually be more attracted to you since that's a sign of a secure masculine character. And I want to leave you with a caveat. Even if you do all the right things, you're still going to screw up a few times. And I've done it a lot. It just takes some experience with dating and relationships to understand how you yourself react to different situations and what you do and don't tolerate from a woman. So, give yourself time and don't expect that you're going to make all the right decisions and set all the right boundaries from day one with any girl that you meet, because it's not going to happen, bro. But you will over time get better at this. So I'd love to hear about your experiences in the comments. Are you struggling with setting boundaries right now? Or if you're not struggling, then what have you done to actually overcome this issue? You can also join our school community and our free Discord server using the links in the description, as well as booking a one-to-one coaching call with me. I'll see you in the next video.